And welcome
and welcome.
to ASMR with Haley and Zipporah. Okay. Y'all, we just needed to break the tension. We just needed to break the tension a little bit. Um, Today has been the day. But we are here.
We are here.
We are present.
Present.
We look good.
No, like she
We
really
look
she
good.
made me up my game up real quick because I didn't do my makeup, y'all. Because I was being a little lazy because I was having a rough morning. And then she came in looking good. I was like, hold on, let me go do this real quick. So I had to beat my face in like 2 seconds.
And if y'all want to know what's really tea, she inspired me to do my makeup because she always have her makeup done and be looking good. Okay. Have y'all seen the content that she been posting lately? If you haven't, you need to check it out. What is your name on Instagram?
Zipporah's Creations.
Okay, and we're gonna have that pop up somewhere around here so you know exactly how to spell it and there's no excuse, baby, okay? We got 2 different angles, so if y'all see me looking crazy, I promise I'm not cross-eyed, nothing wrong with that. I'm just letting y'all know I ain't just out
She
here.
not gonna look cross-eyed. She's straight, y'all. We made sure the angles is good. We made sure. And if you do say something about her in the comments, I'll fight y'all all. Yeah.
You heard it. Period. So let's get let's get right into it.
Yeah.
So we are going to start with this lovely painting here. I would love for you to tell us just your inspiration. What is it that you were trying to express or communicate with this? And the reason I'm asking you about your artwork first is because you know the saying they say it's something like the artist medium is the window to their soul. Yeah. And so I feel like if we get a little bit of understanding about this picture as we continue to interview and ask more personal questions or just personal questions about your journey, we'll get a more full circle view because we kind of will be able to see you a little bit through your artwork as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, start off with this piece. My idea coming into it, one, I've had started like a style with all my artwork. So I had to think about style, but I really was going through a time in my place where I was stressed the heck out, and it was like a lot of stuff coming at me, and I was feeling like a lot of pain. Like it was trauma. But every time I felt like something was going good for me, something would come out and like out the blue, because I know how life is. Life will come out of nowhere and whoop you, child.
Whoop that tree. Whoop that tree.
It will straight whoop you.
Nah, life be
life. And so I needed to get that out because I hold a lot of my emotions in. I'm really bad at being vulnerable. So I wanted to do a piece that was showing more of my vulnerability, because that's all I get. Like, I get a lot of people tell me, you're not vulnerable, Zipporah. You should like open up and talk to somebody. And I'm just like, I'm not good at that. And I realized that I can only really do it in my artwork. So what I made her, one, I made her in a very vulnerable pose. I have her arms up to really show that like vulnerability, because you know, when your hands are up, you're not expecting nothing to really attack you or come from any side of you and whatnot. That's why I chose an arrow to like pierce her stomach area, because an arrow, you know, it can come out any direction, just like life, pretty much. And you know, and then just crying, because sometimes, you know, sometimes you can even have like a blank face. Sometimes you're numb to things, but the tears still flow because you don't expect. Some things you really just don't expect, y'all. And I wanted to showcase that. That's why her surroundings is beautiful and peaceful, but she's disturbed. And every time I display this piece anywhere, everyone actually sees the arrow and the pain last, which that's what I wanted to convey in my art. I wanted them to get distracted by the colors and the scenery. And I'm like, oh, it's such beautiful. This must be like a really happy piece. And then I start looking, it was like, oh my gosh, there's an arrow. She's bleeding. She's actually in pain. Because, you know, majority of life, sometimes the strongest people in your life as well, they go through a lot behind closed doors. And I don't like to always show those things, you know. Everyone tries to, you know, stay put together. But, you know, it's chaos. Just like, you know, we look put together right now, but it was chaos before this video. It was a little chaos.
Clock that T.
Yeah. But, you know, like just like how I am, you are good at, you know, showing up and just putting a face on him like, we got it's game time. Like, and you good at that. That's why I mess with her, y'all. Like,
because we do got it. You see we recording right now.
Exactly. Clock it. But yeah, that was really the really meaning behind this piece. It's just really to show vulnerability. That's like my favorite word right now because that's what I keep getting clocked about. So anytime people say I'm not vulnerable, I'll be like, I really am. I just show it in my work. It's just hard for me to show it vocally and express it physically.
You said so much. Like, and now I'm getting into the details. I'm like, dang, you know what's crazy? And I don't know if this is her story. This not what she said. This is what I interpreted.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? It's crazy because the tears are the same color as what appears to be a pond, but like, is it really a pond? Are these really like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or is this a stream of her tears?
Ooh, I like that. See, this is why I like to listen to people's interpretations because, you know, I feel like artists, sometimes we just unconsciously do things. Even if we might feel like a meaning, I feel like with any artwork has more than one meaning in it. That's the whole point of an artist when we put out work. We want people to add their own interpretations because it makes us feel even more closer to the piece. It's like a therapist, you know. Sometimes you can just bring out like some things and then the therapist will dissect it and be like, you might have really felt this way and etc. So that's kind of how I see it.
Dang, that's kind of cool. So as an artist, you really just got a whole lot of people acting like your therapist. Like, oh, did you see when she said this and did that?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay, so honestly, my follow-up question is, since you said that your vulnerability is kind of or vulnerability is your word right now, and that you express that through your artwork, how do the people around you support your artwork, and like, how do they receive it? So when you are vulnerable and you are showing these things, like, are they able to receive that? Or what about the people who you are creating your artwork for, because you do sell prints. I don't know if I could say that or
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I know you sell prints and things. So like a print of this, if somebody resonates with it, um, I got distracted. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay. Basically what you were saying, like, how do other people take on my work and
Yes.
things? Basically, just like how you just interpreted, I like to stand back and watch how people connect with the piece. Um, some people connect with it totally different. Some people see this mostly as heartbreak, and I can see that too because I was going through heartbreak too at the time with this piece as well. But some people take it as like the same way I take it, like life comes at them a certain way and whatnot. And how other people also support me with my work. If they can't buy it or whatever, they just, share, like, and comment and repost it to other people. And honestly, that is so inspiring. Or people tell me that, oh, your work really inspires me. Like, really, what helps me motivate to go on at times, it's not just my own passion for work. Because, passion is one of those things that we all have. But sometimes, we don't get rewarded with our passions at times. So when I have people at times randomly DM me on like different platforms, or they leave very, very heartfelt comments and they say, well, thank you so much for sharing your work. I love seeing it. This made my day. It could be not even something they relate to. They can just be having a crappy day and they see something that just like makes them happier. And to me, that's supporting me. Like, of course, I want people to buy the work and I would want people to buy my prints and my originals in my art shop if you need it. But I also love it just when it just touches people too. But yeah, like I said, a lot of people just share my work who can't afford it or who can't buy it at the time and things like that. And that's a lot for me too. And I'd be appreciating that. So
Beautiful. Okay, so y'all can't see, but this is her beautiful home, and she has so many images around. And so a thought that just came to mind is, what is your process? Like, what is the process of it going from up here to like voila? Do you know that this
yeah,
is the end result that you're looking for, or do you just kind of go with the flow? Take us through that process.
I'm glad you asked. So first, anytime I do my process for anything, like I kind of have like kind of an idea, just a little bit in my head, and then I go searching out for like different images. I get inspired honestly by other artists and other photographers, especially photographers. I like to look at dynamic poses at times. I like to look at just how people take photography. It's some people that do some really dope stuff with that, like how they set up scenes and whatnot. So like I take inspiration from life really, and I put it all together and then I'm like, okay, how can I use these images to make life? So then in my sketchbook, I do like these crappy thumbnail sketches just to play with composition and like poses and whatnot. And then once I finally got like a crappy sketch, I do like kind of a more rendered sketch in my sketchbook. And then before, someone like this is like right here, before I put anything to canvas, I do a sketch. So I like to hold on to all my sketches before for like paintings and whatnot because sketches are forever if you ask me. And so this is like it's like a little timepiece for me. So if I ever sell this painting, I will still always have the original sketch. Some people like to draw completely on canvas, and I don't really like doing that. Too, because I like to plan stuff out. I hate not being prepared because then I get stressed out, just like how today. I get stressed out when I'm not fully prepared and whatnot. So when I do these sketches, I like to know exactly kind of at least majority of vision of where I'm going. And then so after I do the sketch, I actually transfer it onto canvas. And then I start painting. A lot of artists, they just sketch on canvas and then they get to painting. But I've tried doing that in the past and it kind of like leaves me kind of all over the place. And then I tried to like copy a sketch or something I've redone, and I always get mad because I can never get the sketch the same. So that's why I started changing my process to that. So yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful. And I'm saying beautiful, y'all, because I like to look at everything as a process in life, right? I feel like so many people would see this painting and would think exactly what you said, right? Especially now, like it's 2025. In people's head, you see a canvas, you see a beautiful painting, you think about the time you went to art and paint and sip, and you just follow the directions of a painter who is very skilled in what they do, and they're just allowing you to do like a easier version of what they do.
Yeah.
And I say that to say it was amazing to hear you say, like, yeah, you can go to a little paint and sip and do something in a day, but me and my artwork, I take my time.
Yeah.
I draw it on multiple surfaces first. I figure out how I want to play with things. And that's beautiful because it shows how intentional you are with your art and how you want your art to be perceived. So thank you for being intentional and giving us beautiful content that was really made from your heart.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And y'all, she's a really good interviewer. I've kind of done interviews in the past, but she makes me feel very comfortable, y'all. So like, I need to take some interviews with her just to let y'all know and things. But yeah, I like to make all my pieces personal. I don't like hating on other artists. I don't like call it hating. I feel like in like throughout the years in the art culture, a lot of artists just started pushing out content for the audience and audience only instead of doing stuff for themselves. And that's something I wanted to do. I wanted my piece to be personal and then put it out. And if it never sells, and it's okay. I love my work and I'm hanging up in my own home. And I got family who love my work too. So they'll take it, they steal it from me if they want to. Like, so but a lot of artists nowadays, they do trending stuff. And there's nothing wrong with trending work, but when you make that your whole catalog, and I've seen artists complain about that. They will complain, they get stuck in a rut because they're just tired of doing trending stuff, but they had already made their whole persona about trending artwork. And then like they don't want to do it anymore. They hate it and stuff. And I just don't want to end up like that. I'd rather me create something I know I love than something I just want to go viral for 2 seconds and stuff. If I go viral for something that I did, I would actually be more fulfilled and happier. So,
Okay. So for context, y'all, me and Zipporah, we are friends, neighbors. And so I have a little bit more of a personal relationship with her. So I don't know if this is comfortable, but can you tell us more about your artistic journey on the back end? So a lot of people see the artistic journey on like the painting process, but they don't often know the journey of how does the artist make money or how do I promote myself on social media? If you follow her on social media, I don't know if y'all have seen, but my girl has started doing new like edits with her videos and like voiceovers and all the things. So tell us a little bit about that process, why you even started going hard the way that you did with social media and kind of where you see your trajectory going.
Glad you asked. I got complacent, y'all. I literally went to school for art. I've literally been told all my life that I can't be an artist. I've been told since I was young. No hate to my mom, but she wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer, and that's just not something I wanted to do. And money, I already knew I would always struggle. That's something I always knew that would be a struggle at first. I've seen it from other artists. I've done my research with it, and I've viewed a lot of different artists with things. And when I got out of college, I just got a regular 9 to 5 job, y'all. And I love my job. It's a little fulfilling in some ways, but I know it's not fully where I want to be. And I and honestly, it's not even paying the way I wanted to anyway. So that was another thing that kept dragging me out. And I just one day I woke up and I was like, I'm not where I want to be in life. Like I'm nowhere near. I've put down a paintbrush a certain way. I'm not in galleries the way I want to. I'm not doing anything that I love. And I said, if I'm gonna be stressed out, I'd rather be stressed with doing something I actually like. Y'all like
Clock that.
block it. Because let me tell y'all, it doesn't matter what you do, it's going to be hard work. So you need to do the hard work and something that you really do enjoy because you're going to hit burnouts. And when those burnouts come, y'all, like it's hard to get yourself and dig yourself out of those burnouts and whatnot. And so, yeah, I be stressed, y'all. Not even how I be stressed. Like, she be seeing me tired. I be telling her, like, I told her, I said, yeah, if you're going to do your business, you got to be serious, but just know it's going to be a tiring process, but it is so fulfilling. Um, to me it's very fulfilling. And honestly, I just started going really taking myself serious within the last 2-ish months, and I'm already seeing rewards from that. Like it's not the full money rewards just yet, but it's the connections I've made along the way. Like y'all, like just connections with her, connections with other artists I've just made, connections with different networks, and I'm getting certain opportunities I never would have done if I would have still just been going every day to work, clocking in, clocking out, going home, watching TV, not doing my craft. Versus now, I'm busy. Like I'm really busy. Like I either when I clock out, I'm going home doing stuff for myself, or like I have events. Like I just started in January. I've been in already in a gallery. And then now I'm about to be in another gallery, but this gallery is gonna be the City Museum, y'all. I have never thought I would ever have a painting in the City Museum. I would the little girl in me is just like screaming, y'all. Like, and those things are very fulfilling to me. And I know down the line, someone's gonna buy my work because anytime I've seen and put my work anywhere a certain way, people always they be like, "Oh my god, this is so different. I haven't seen this," or like they was like, "I love those colors," or like just compliment it so well. And I've never heard anyone really give negative feedback. The only thing I tell people, the downside of things, you get in your head at times, especially as an entrepreneur or a creative. You get in your head, like it's like, oh, am I even good enough? Or and then the tired days, the days where I'm up all night editing all these videos for you guys, and all the edits and stuff. I will have like, oh, is this even enough? Like, and especially if things don't get views a certain way. And then I have some supporting people in my life who would tell me, don't look at views because you know what you're doing. Like you're actually putting the work in. And honestly, I'm glad because then I keep having other people tell me, they're like, I've seen your edits. Like that's the main thing a lot of people been telling me. Like I've been seeing your edits and your artwork. Like it is so cool. Like I'm not seeing nobody else do that. Like one of the biggest artists who's actually got me in the City Museum, when I dropped off the painting to him and he was talking to me, he was like, yeah. He was like, that is so different. Like I've never seen no one take approach like how you're taking an approach. And honestly, that felt so good to hear because I'm just used to just being in my home and not hearing anything. So now that I've been taking chances to push my stuff out there and putting that work in, I've been getting good feedback. And that's why I've been on her head. I'm like, put that work out there, girl.
So I hope y'all heard that because what did she just say? She used to come home after a long day of work and let the work day beat her. Okay. And now she is deciding no more. Because either way, I love what you said about it being hard. Because I read a post like that on social media. This was a while ago. And it was like, being broke and working a 9 to 5 is hard. Both of them is hard.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta pick your hard.
You gotta pick your heart, like for real. Y'all.
Pick your heart. And so I love that you are showing people like the real of, yeah, I have a 9 to 5, and when I clock out of my 9 to 5, I clock into my own job.
Yeah.
And y'all don't see the behind the scenes, which I think that would be cool if you showed people like timestamps. And I say timestamps because y'all, it'll be sometimes where she up till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and still got to be at work the next day. hello. And I'm sitting here saying hello, but that's why she's progressing in the way that she is. And you know, I'm a Taurus, I move slow. So we gonna keep that where it's at and keep moving. Can I bring in some of these other photos, or did you just want to
Yeah,
focus
we
on this
can.
one?
Yeah, we can bring in the other ones. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Like, yeah, we can. You want to do this one? I'm gonna use this one.
I'm like, I can hold one, you got one.
Yeah.
So tell me about these photos, because these are two separate pictures, but like the way that she had them set up when I came in, I actually thought they were connected like this, so that they were side by side.
Yeah, they are connected. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me. Oh, and they connect right here.
Yeah, they do. It's a bridge. So yeah. So for those, yeah,
I didn't even see that.
yeah. A lot of people. That's why I like my work. I like to put a lot of stuff in there, like different pieces, because then people, it's like finding like little gems, and they be like, "Wait a second, I didn't see that before." But yeah, I made this back when I was in college, and it's a self portrait. And the project was to make a diptych. Like, she didn't give us a theme or nothing. She just said make a diptych. And a diptych is, if you guys ever seen like images or paintings where it's like different ones, but they're always side by side and they always complete a full image. That's a diptych. And so what I did was I decided to do over emotions a certain way. So one side represents sadness, grief, inner demons and whatever. And then the other side is like happiness, joy, and just peace. And then there's a bridge that connects in between, because to me I feel like in life you have to have both. That's how life works. And so you're always going to have a middle ground. But yeah, that's really what it was. And I had it like me like showcasing in the brain or in the head, because these are things that go on in my mind, because there are a lot be going up in there, y'all. Like, there's a lot that be happening in my mind. So I was really just trying to convey that. So yeah.
That's beautiful. And what medium did you use for this? Like, how? What is this?
So this is marker. These are all like marker, and then the background is like an acrylic marker, but the full stuff is marker. The painting behind you, that's acrylic. So I work in multiple mediums, and I like to keep it that way because it helps me express stuff in different mediums, and it actually helps me get better as an artist, because I know how to work in every single medium now, so I can see things from different angles, and yeah, and there's different objectives, and it's very helpful. So, and then pen, I guess you can say some pen in there.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So we know that you said you work with acrylic paints, acrylic marker, regular marker. What are some of the other mediums that you use, and how do you use them to express yourself?
Yeah. So I also work in watercolor. So the piece that's actually going to be in the City Museum is a watercolor piece. When I first started painting, I painted in watercolor. That was actually my go-to baby at first. I actually used to hate acrylic. I know I said that on my other videos, but I used to like swear up and down, I'll never do acrylic. I hate that. And whoop-de-doo. I did watercolor, graphite, and digital work a lot and stuff. So I do digital work and whatnot. I just put the digital work down for just a little bit, but I'm gonna start doing even more stuff. But yeah, watercolor, it was like really freeing because it just flows so much better and it's just easier to layer. And I get like it taught me patience, because you have to really let layers dry before you move on. Versus with acrylic, it actually dries pretty quick. That's why I end up actually liking it, because I can go pretty fast with it. But now it just goes too fast. But watercolor taught me a little bit of patience, y'all, because until I got the blow dryer and started doing the in between layers. But before I knew the blow dryer trick, I had to sit and wait for layers to dry. And when I was doing that, it actually made me realize I can fix some things in other areas, or like what else to add on, and then really how to like blend stuff so much better. So yeah.
Life lessons. I don't know if y'all people, but she just dropped the gem. Okay. Sometimes you think you just waiting.
In
It's
between the
not just about the
lines.
wait. It's about how you choosing to wait. She said, yeah, I had to wait, but while that's drying, I can work on this. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta use that in life, baby. While this on pause, I can work on this. I love how you honestly you just connect your art to your real life. And I appreciate that. On an interview with, I believe it was Lady London. If I'm misquoting, I'm sorry. But she made a comment that said, I am not an artist that's here to impress. Like, I'm here to express. And the whole time that you've been talking today, like, that's just the energy that I'm getting. Is like, these are expressions of you. Like, these are literally your children. And I'm pointing because y'all, her whole house is filled with things that she's created. And each one looks like it could have been made by a different artist. Some of them have her signature, like, I'm trying to work on them, keeping the mic in my hand. But like some of them have the traditional like color scheme and like shape of the body. But like I'm looking at one right now, it's not even any people in there. It's just nature.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at another one over there that's completely different. It looked kind of like anime stylish a little bit to me.
Yeah. Also,
And
yeah, that one was like actually copying a painter. That was like a project I did. It's like James Jean. I actually talked about that in another video. Like to learn to be a better artist is to copy other artists and stuff too. Like, and what I did, and that was just a section of his painting. It was a huge painting. I was only able to do the section, and that took me a long time to do, y'all. It helped me actually learn how to do coloring and stuff to this day and stuff. I get inspiration from him too. So yeah. So I look at other artists. So all of my work is really inspired by other artists and things. And then I have you, as you can see, some like some other pieces where that's when I was like learning acrylic and stuff. So I just did like just some different type of styles and stuff and whatever. But yeah, my home is, I don't know if it's conceited or not, but I do have all my artwork up and stuff. But my future home, I want artwork from other artists. I want to be a collector as well. That's why I'm trying to get my money up. So I just can support. I just like to support other people too. Like that's my main thing. Anything that comes in through me, I pour out into other people. So
that's beautiful. And that actually leads me to my next question, which is, how do you spend your time outside of art? So we know that, you know, art takes time, as you mentioned, but outside of the physical art that you do, what do you do for fun, or what do you do? Because you said that life inspires your art. So when are you out living versus creating?
Yeah, that's something I was really bad at first, and that's something I'm getting better at now. I let my work consume me. Like I'm really bad at isolating. My friends know, like, and sometimes I do PSAs like, yeah, just let you know I'm like finna disappear for a bit. But as I'm getting older and as I've been knowing how much joy it is to be around like my friends and family and how it gets me out of those headspaces, I'm learning to actually take those moments and make more of them instead of keeping myself pent up so much. I'm actually still working on that. And everything, because that's something as an artist, and it's not just me. I realize there's a lot of artists, we get so consumed in our work that we forget that we still have to live life. Because how else are you going to get inspired? You have to live life. So now, like what I do, I like to go, I like to do concerts and stuff. I used to not do concerts. Like some of my friends be dragging me out, y'all. Like shout out to my friends who be dragging me the heck out. And my family, and I try to surround myself with family at times too. And I've been doing that so much more lately. And I've been trying to make sure I make time for other things and stuff. That's why we're gonna start making time to hang out even way more than what we do now and stuff too. Trying to find that balance is very hard, and it's not just artists, it's just any person who's like taking their life serious a certain way with their career. It's hard. Really is a hard balance, and some people really suck at it because it is hard. Like it's not only you put in so much work into your stuff, and then you have to still make time for family and friends. That is just hard. It is, but we gonna do it because my friends and my family are important to me, because if any of this stuff is taken away from me, my friends and my family are always there. So yeah.
I love that. So inspiration, right? Tell us, who are some, we gonna mix it up. Give me 2 people that you follow on any social media. It don't matter which 2, that are artists that are inspiring to you. But then I also want you to tell us 2 artists that are painters like you that inspire you. Because I don't think we even realize, like, at least now, I know I'm not very familiar. When we go to stores, we have access to so much, like, generic paint. Like I think about TJ Maxx and stuff, and we'd be like, "Ooh, this is gorgeous." Whole time we got a homegirl right next door who doing stuff that's even better than that. And so give us some artists who are preferably Black men or women, or women.
You know, lately I've been getting inspired by local artists here. For real. If we want to talk local and Black, 2 Black women, Maxi Arts. I just did an exhibit with her, and then we're doing an exhibit later on this month.
You have her Instagram?
Yep, I'm about to put it on there. It's gonna be up here. It's gonna float somewhere around here. Maxi Arts, and then another artist who I haven't met fully. Like I saw her for 2 seconds yesterday, but it was the Art Dow. She's just very inspiring because she's also a tattoo artist here in STL too, but she does her own paintings and her own style, and I mess with that really heavy. Instagram or like social media artists I've been following, like I said, James Jean, and because his stuff is like kind of like my work too. It's just in his own traditional way. And then another artist, Audra Eclair. Love her work. I've been looking at their work since I was like in middle school. Like, and Audra Eclair, she had a YouTube channel. She was one of the artists in like another artist called Happy the Artist, who I used to watch always on YouTube and everything. Because back in the day, YouTube, I didn't have really black artists on YouTube and stuff. So I'm seeing that now, but back in the day it wasn't. So it was like a lot of other non-black artists, and I'm fine with that because I was watching them heavy, y'all. But I got to see, and that's what inspired me and showed me that I can make this a career one day and stuff if I just take it serious. Which is why, like, I really been putting all this stuff on pause for too long, and I said, no, I can't keep doing that. So yeah. So those are the artists, and I'll have all their names up and whatnot. But like all their art is just really inspiring. Maxi Arts and Art Dow, their art is totally different from my style, but I love it because Maxi Art, he does more realistic stuff. Like hers is more portraits. I'm so sorry. Hers is more portraits, and but she doesn't really spin with portraits because I know I get tired of seeing portraits sometimes. I used to do portraits. That's how I started. I did portraits a lot and then I got sick of it. But the way she does portraits, it's like more lively, it's more colorful, and she adds her own spin to it. So I really appreciate her work.
We gotta pop some pictures up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Like me, I'm like, what's a portrait?
Yeah, oh yeah. So a portrait is literally like a photograph or a selfie, but a painting. So it's a picture of your own self or like a person or like a photograph. It's like a photograph. That's like back in the day, like how art emerged, honestly.
Like at Six Flags.
What?
Like when you go to Six Flags and they take a picture.
Oh yeah, you take a picture and stuff, or like something like that. But or like back in the day, you don't like when people had paintings of themselves in their homes.
We
like
gotta make an edit. She looked at me like Six Flags, girl.
Girl, I had to think. Y'all had to straight think. I was like, why she talking about Six Flags? But then when she said when they take a picture of you when they on a ride now, it made sense, y'all. I had me a little moment, y'all. See, this is why I'm glad we didn't. But yeah. So yeah, portraits are like, back in the like those rich people homes, they always have some like scary looking portrait of them and their family members. That's what a portrait is, like the picture of them. It's a picture of that person.
That's scary.
Yeah, just like the Donald Trump picture of him. Like he's just looking at you like he a freaking menace to the society because he is. Hopefully they don't dock me for talking about that man, but I guess we can keep it cute. Yeah, we going for something.
Okay, well, I feel like we have taken up enough of your time today. So before we get out of here, I want you to share with the people what are the things that you have coming up? What are the things that you are interested in doing and collaborating? And how can people find you and support you in your work right now today?
Always supporting me is commenting, following, and subscribing. Like all those, that by itself is helping me because your girl trying to get that YouTube bag. You hear me? But also I will put my website up. I sell not only my art prints and my originals, but I also have designed my own purses. And I'll put like a little video or something. But I also design my own purses and they're just like so cute and they're like in 2 different colors. They're pastel colors, just like my work, very pastel-y. So if you guys can support that way, that'd be great. And if you're local, you can go to any of the art galleries that I'm like exhibited in, and not just to support me, but the other artists because there's so much talent here in St. Louis. So do yourself a favor, get you a ticket. So yeah.
Period. Okay, and the last thing I don't know if you.
I'm not editing that out, by the way.
I don't know if you answered it, but the last thing was how can people no, you said support you by like, comment, share, subscribe. You said go to your art shows. No, but that's what I was asking. So are there any things coming up that people can come support you at and tell us time, date, place, location, or insert a flyer so that they know what it is?
I'll insert the flyer, but it's at the City Museum if you're local St. Louis or if you want to take a little drive. January 31st, we're having an opening reception It's going to be at 6 to 8 p.m. But if you can't make it the open reception, the exhibit's going to be from January 31st to April 30th. So yeah, it's going to be on display for that whole entire time. So yeah, if you guys want to do that, that's what you guys can do. So yeah, I appreciate that.
And this is just a personal question because now I'm curious. When people exhibit in when artists are in exhibits like this, what happens at the end? Do they just give you a painting back, or how do you get money from that? Like in my mind, I'm
so the key is like when we have our art on display, we're hoping somebody buys it because it's always our information, then how much the price of something. So even if we don't make money from it, we still get a lot of exposure. We get more people who might not buy it now, but they'll buy later. So like let's say your exhibit as your piece is exhibiting and someone buys it, it still stays on exhibit. They just get the piece afterwards, but we get the money, Some galleries they take a percentage of the paint, the commission of the sale, because they be like if they like marketed it so much for you, they want a commission off of what you make. But some galleries don't. They let the artist keep all the money. It just depends on the
shout out my nigga Gucci.
Shout out to them.
Sorry, I said nigga. I didn't know if I could say that.
I don't know what you said. So I'm sorry. We gotta look at that. But no, but yeah, some galleries take commission, or some places it's not always. Sometimes the galleries exhibit. Some exhibits they take commissions. This one personally, I get all the money. If my piece sells, it goes to me and everything. And I take the piece back home. So like I can either take it back home, or if someone buys it on our website, they just gotta wait until after I take it out of the exhibit and I ship it to them. So it just depends on the gallery and whatnot. And it's honestly a gamble. So when artists have their pieces in galleries, that it doesn't always mean it's going to sell. But I always say it's really good for exposure, and it literally looks good on our resumes because it keeps us an artist resume. It lets people know, or other galleries know, that we're actually active artists. Because if you're like, I like to call it, I'm just gonna say a dead artist, like someone who's not active in the community, someone who's not trying to push their work out there. You just expecting galleries just to take you just because you think your stuff is just so good. And that can be true. Your stuff can be so good and a gallery takes you and that can start your resume. But if you feel like that's gonna happen, if you just feel like you just been shooting paintings out for years and then you expect that gallery to take you, they're going to try to look at your resume and be like, what other place have you exhibit this work? Are you actually taking yourself serious? And that's why you got to take yourself serious, because other people look at that.
She giving you gems.
Giving you some gems. Because some people be asking, how do you get your work in galleries, or how do you get your work exhibited? You just got to try to put yourself out there. Like, network, y'all. When I say you need to network, that is so important. It does not matter what industry you're in. You need to network.
Okay, I know I keep saying last questions, but again, I'm curious. The girls want to know. Give us a real life example of a time that you network, and how did it turn out for you?
Literally just hitting people up in the DMs, like just saying, oh, I'm such and such, or like literally just complimenting their own stuff. So don't just go in all the time just talking about you. Nobody wants to always hear about you all the time. It's been times where I'm literally just like told somebody I appreciate their stuff or like what they're doing, and they go and look at my stuff and they're like, you know what, how about do you want to be involved in my stuff? Like, I've had one person, he does journaling and stuff, but he ended up having his own exhibit that he hosts. His name is Campbell and stuff, and that was like one of my first gallery things I was able to do. And I was just complimenting his stuff a certain way. He knew one of my friends, and he was like, you know what, I like your stuff, it's pretty dope. And then he put myself in the gallery, and ever since then I've been on that. Or just for instance, like the City Museum thing, I could have been in his gallery stuff a long time ago, because Sills Brock, he does so much. And when I say he does so much with the community, especially with Black artists, he makes a host different types of galleries. And I've always been scared to like ask him or like do stuff. And he be having artist calls. So you can also do that when you see like an artist call. Don't be scared to ask to put your work into something. Put yourself out there, and that's okay. And I put myself out there, and then I got it back. He was like, yeah, your stuff is dope. Yeah, I will launch your stuff in there. So yeah.
Message, y'all out here waiting for somebody to look for you whole time. They looking for you. You just ain't came out.
Right.
You ain't put yourself in a position.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, thank you.
And also for context, y'all, that's how we met. I was out on my balcony painting with my cousin. Rolls my eyes because me and my cousin never finished that project that we was working on, child. But we was out there working on the project on my porch, and she saw me and came up and was like, "Oh my God, are you an artist?" And I was like, "No, girl, that's my cousin. My cousin is an artist, but we out here having a good time." And she was like, "Well, I just wanted to introduce myself because I paint and I do this and that too." Networking, because here we are.
Here we are. And I almost didn't go up there. I was just nervous. And that was during the time I really started networking more, and I just wanted to branch out and stuff. And she was very sweet. You might get negative people sometimes, but that's just with anything.
And that's a reflection of them, not you.
Yeah, not you. Nothing wrong with you. It's just, put yourself out there. Now me and her are cool. Like, we come up with business ideas together. Like, honestly, this is a really good friend, and we talk about God together. Like, because your girl, we know
sisters in
Christ. Yeah. So yeah, just put yourself out there. That's all it is. Put yourself out there. Can't say that enough.
And we about to put this video out there. Yeah. Okay. And this is going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Thank you so much for doing this interview for me.
What? I'm just saying.
Thank you.
Sorry. That's my trauma showing up, guys. That's not how you should respond when people thank you. I apologize.
No, you okay. I know you. So yeah, I guess for them to know, but I know.
Yes, you are so welcome. I enjoyed this opportunity. Also really love just talking to you and getting to see a different side of you. I hope that your viewers got to see a different side of you. Yeah. I hope that they enjoyed this video. And I hope y'all was taking notes, because she really gave y'all stuff. People who are artists, she gave y'all specific gems, but she also gave everybody who is anybody who can relate to being a person. She gave y'all gems as well, and whatever it is that y'all doing.
Being a creative, that shit is hard. Yeah.
Hard. But it's a hard life for us.